Hey yo guys, welcome to another video, and today is going to be the chosen one from Alan Baker, I believe that's his name, versus Max, again, from, this video. So yeah, I was going to show clips, but I'm too lazy. And I can't even show clips for Max because he doesn't have any clips, because one, he's a manga, and two, most people don't have a manga, so yeah, I can't exactly get it. But yeah. And let's get into how powerful we are, and I'm extremely surprised at how powerful the chosen one is. Extremely powerful. Like, Max is made to be strong, but the chosen one actually is a good fight for him. Yeah, that is actually kind of surprising. But anyway, let's get into how powerful they are. Starting with the chosen one, because that's much more well known. At bare minimum, I severely apologize, Collection, not the chosen one. I don't know why I thought his name was the chosen one. I meant to say the second coming. Big difference. I'm pretty sure the chosen one is the black evil guy. But yeah, second coming, not chosen one. By the way, onto his feet. Now a bare minimum engine power for him. He's raw plus. All the way back since his debut episode in episode 4, he broke through like yard sections of walls, and he survived being rammed into cars. That's wall level. Yeah, we're starting very low for this one. And in the animator versus Minecraft series, he can break blocks just like Steve can. Likely meaning he likely scales to where Steve would scale. But he can survive the Wither explosion, which is city block level, and even some TNT explosions with white armor, which is multi-city block level. Steve is also able to kill the Wither. The Wither, it takes about 50 blocks, no, it takes about 18 blocks of TNT to kill the Wither. So if you do the calculations, that would be about 2.484 kilotons. Or a small town level, you can also kill the Warden, which it takes about 50 blocks of TNT to do that. That would take about 6.9 kilotons in order to kill the Warden, or small town plus engine power to kill the Warden, which Steve can do. He also scales to Pokemon in the Pokemon series that scales to other Pokemon, which created mountain level explosions. Yeah. But obviously he can get much higher, or else I would not be putting him against Max. Cause he survived being in a black hole twice. The second time he was in a black hole, he was in part of a trilogy of videos that have some very impressive feats of animation versus math, animation versus physics, and animation versus another thing. I forgot what it was. Animation versus geometry was. In animation versus physics, he created and is holding an entire solar system. i.e. solar system level, not multi-solar system level, and we know it's a real solar system because he explores it later. Or earlier, question mark? Time travel is weird. But with other feats, you actually know that this verse is consistently universal. Surprisingly. In animation versus math, the second coming was able to fight a monster made of pure math that tanked having like an infinite gunshot at him, like F parentheses infinity. F times infinity shot him with a vertical line that goes from 0 to infinity, and he just turned into a weapon, and then he took multiple hits from it. So that would be high universal levels of power. And he also one-shotted that weapon, so yeah, high universal. And in animation versus geometry, I think it was, he could rotate the Tipwood cylinder, a theoretical time machine with infinite height. So yeah, that's high universal. Also, in that same video, he was able to fight a fourth dimensional object, which is Universal Plus. And he also has access to Creative Mode in the Minecraft series, which could be his own end of scaling, but there's no Creative Mode. If you give yourself enough time, you can destroy every block on the planet. Which the planet is 7 times bigger than Earth, so that'll be at least planetary level power. If you want to give him mods, even though I don't think he has mods, if you want to give him mods, that'll be straight up multiversal, due to how big it actually is. But Creative Mode scaling is weird. But he also scales to normal Steve again, which could scale well above multiversal. Yes, I'll get to that later. He also tanked the explosion from his staff, which threatened multiple different universes simultaneously, which is at least low multiversal. And back with the Minecraft scaling, Steve can be the Ender Dragon, which scales above like the Pillager in Minecraft Dungeons, which threatened multiple timelines, with like infinite timelines, scaling him to multiversal. The skin, Ender Dragon also scales above the Heart of Ender, which is arguably multiversal too. And there's stuff suggesting that the Ender Dragon created and holds the entire End realm, which is infinite, which would be high universal. Steve can kill the Warden that's stronger than the Ender Dragon, which would get him solid multiversal scaling. And to go higher than multiversal, at its absolute peak, the Second Coming was able to fight a number, like Yu's number, that has infinite dimensions, infinite spatial dimensions, which would be high hyperversal. Yeah, this guy one-shots 99.9% of all verses. It is not even close. And with speed, he's able to react to an apple being shot at him in a black hole on a rocket traveling 99% the speed of light. Yeah, I still hit him, but it mostly just caught him off guard, and he still reacted to it. So that's some solid relativistic plus ends of speed, possibly FTL. And then he was also able, in the arcade game, he was able to catch someone falling at over 1,000 times the speed of light, which is MFTL plus. But at most, he was able to fight against Yu's number, which is able to hold an improper decimal of like an infinite size thingy into a finite staff. And he one-shotted it, so that could be argued infinite speed. So yeah, he's anywhere from low multiversal to high hyperversal, and he has MFTL plus to infinite speed, basically. Now with his hacks, he can manipulate UI elements of the computer itself. He's extremely skilled. He can use the pencil tool to just draw whatever he wants, whether it's weapons or armor. And he can also create whatever he wants out of one-dimensional strings, basically. He can warp reality on a potential universal level. He can fly, destroy any item, summon infinite amounts of those items. He can increase the speed of multiplication. He has resistance eraser. He can erase things with a trash bin. He can give himself post-it effects. Even if the icon is taken away from him, he can use other computer icons to just amp himself. He can give a pig as many post-it effects to go from like a normal pig to God, basically. He has fire manipulation, where basically shooting fireballs. He can teleport. He can summon lightning, and a whole lot more stuff than that I don't have time to mention. So yeah. Anyway, with all of that said, time to get onto Max. Right before I get onto Max, the Second Coming is possibly have immeasurable speed because he's close to infinite dimensions, meaning he transcends time. You can give him immeasurable speed if you want. On to Max scaling. Starting all the way from the beginning when he was just a normal human, he survived like street and wall level attacks, basically. And as a normal human, he'll be wall level plus. But after he's given a whip-off super soldier serum, he can fight and kill Ghost, which already destroyed several towns at that point, giving him Yard's town level scaling. But he could go so high that he was going to destroy the planet, so that's planetary scaling. And he's actually strong enough to destroy the universe, so that's universal. Yeah, just pick whatever you want. Story-wise, he's planetary, but he could be universal. So by chapter 1, he's planetary to universal. And chapter 2 and 3 is fillers, we're skipping that. But moving on to a couple chapters later, he defeats hundreds of higher dimensional gods, giving him universal plus ends of scaling in his base form. And then after defeating all those gods, he unlocks his god form, which multiplies his power 100 times over. If you use the planetary scaling, then he'll be Yard's planetary. And if you want to say he could destroy 100 universes now, you could say he's possibly Yo multiversal. But he'll at least be Universal Plus here. And by the next chapter, he's able to fight with Kratos against the Grim Reaper. He's noticeably weaker than the Grim Reaper because he needed to summon multiple other verses in order to help him fight his army. But just him summoning those verses will be Universal Plus because he created portals outside of his dimension, so I'm pretty sure that'll be Universal Plus sense of power. And he can at least harm the Grim Reaper, applying some level relativity. Meaning that he's possibly Multiversal Plus because the Grim Reaper has infinite power on top of his higher dimensional nature. So he's Multiversal Plus there. And then by the next chapter, he knocks his devil form and he's possessed by the devil. He uses it, but in this form, he beat Kratos, which Kratos scaling, he's 5D, straight up. He scales to 4, which splintered the Iversil, which transcends time and space, and is infinite size, so that'll be infinite 5D. And 4 can also punch beings back in time, which is also 5D. And Devil Max beat him, which will give him infinite 5D or Yo complex multiversal scaling. And after he uses his form, during the next 2 chapters, he fights a Catnap whip-off that's impossibly strong. Already I use 5th dimensional power because he beat Kratos extremely easily. And then Max can harm him, saying that he can possibly get to 5D. But moving on to the end of chapter 8, which is the last chapter currently. He survived an explosion for Catnap, which pulled the entire cosmology in on itself. Which, if you know our cosmology, it's freaking insane. Spoiler, it scales to every verse that ever existed, including Alan Baker's. Basically, one verse equals a reality, and there's infinite upon infinite upon infinite realities. 3 sets of infinite realities, each containing a different verse. If you make up a verse in your head, it appears in that reality. It will appear in another reality in that cosmology. And this explosion created this explosion pulled all infinite realities to each other into a black hole, which Max took point blank and survived. Then afterwards, Max uses power to pull all the realities closer to each other to make one infinite-sized island containing all the realities which wasn't destroyed. Which about 80% of the realities were destroyed in there, by the way. You can scale the realities to many different ways, but Max's power would upscale the black hole, which was going to destroy all the realities. Which some realities have infinite dimensions, so Max's power would be Yo outerversal there. But he can get higher because the black hole is so powerful, it ripped through the page itself. Meaning it transcended that level of fixin', or it's 1 layer into boundless. And since Max upscales it, he would be 2 layers into boundless. which is the highest tier you could get into. Moving on to his speed now. He can fight beings that can destroy the universe, meaning that he's at least 4.3 times faster than Light, because that's how big the expansion is. And if they're not that fast, the universe will just expand faster than he could destroy it. So he's FTL at ease, more than likely MFTL. And that once he kills the gods have infinite speed, so he will also have infinite speed from reacting to them. And he fights Catnap, which upscales Kratos, which transcends time, which would be immeasurable speed. Immeasurable is where he should really cap. But if you want to scale him to my verse, you could say he has irrelevant speed due to him scaling partially to the Dark Lord, which upscaled the first Grim Reaper avatar form, which outsped the God of Speed, which is the concept of speed, which would be irrelevant speed. So Max will have anywhere from immeasurable to irrelevant speed, and Yo Universal to boundless power. Now, moving on to his hacks. He has an indestructible backpack on his back, which cannot break. He has to have like a resistance eraser. And he can just pull everyone out of it. Any weapon, any set of armor, anything he wants. His main weapon is a gun that he can channel his own power out of. So it's usually like a hyper-versatile gun. So yeah, to his other hacks, he has regeneration. He could regenerate from a single atom if he wanted to, in like a few seconds. He has teleportation. He could create thousands of clones of himself if he wanted to. A sword that can like cut through reality itself. He might be able to time travel, I think. Maybe. Super speed, obviously. He can fly. I'm pretty sure he can also sort of warp reality itself. He also has total ease, which allows him to use 100% of his power in every blow for a couple minutes, which is beyond the normal 80% that any given creature could do. And he channels 100% of his power, possibly more than that, in every single punch for a couple minutes. He also has 99% overdrive, which is a form that he uses that boosts his power hundreds, if not thousands of times over for a couple minutes, but he doesn't really use it that much because it has a side effect of putting him on sleep for 1,000 years, and nothing can change that. Or, yeah, it can have the other effect of keeping him in that form forever. In that case, he's literally invincible because he actually has invincibility in that form. He cannot take damage while dishing out punches stronger than himself. So yeah. And this at least amps him in a dimension, because he went from 4th dimensional to 5th dimensional in chapter 5, because he's stronger than Kratos of this. And Kratos is 1,000 times stronger than Max, by the way. So this is at least a 1,000 times multiplier to his power. And that's most of his hacks. Now, who would win? Max would. Now, both of them is incredibly powerful. Max is clearly more powerful. Even if you want to say that he's just like Yo Universal, compared to high hyperversal, you'll still be stronger. And if he uses stuff like 99% overdrive, he would absolutely destroy the Second Coming. But if you want to say he does use that because it's out of character, because he could go into a 1,000-year sleep, then you'll still be strong enough to just box him out. You could say that the Second Coming could possibly just delete his backpack due to a resistance eraser, but his backpack is as strong as he is, which he scales to the Dark Lord, which at the end of the series scales above a character that can resist resistance eraser. So you could say you possibly can't even destroy it. So his backpack is arguably boundless, And you can just pull out a weapon from that and just decapitate him. And I don't think the Second Coming has regeneration. Now, the Second Coming can also just make whatever he wants out of one-dimensional objects or a pencil. He can just make seals so that can block characters stronger than him, or as strong as him. So you could just say it could possibly just block off his attacks. Maybe. But Max is just so much stronger that he could just possibly break through the shield. And even if those two, even if say they're equal stats, it's still not very fair. Like, if they each damage each other, like, let's say each of them cut off each other's EM, Max will regenerate it in, like, 20 milliseconds, while the chosen one can't. I guess it, like, makes a new EM. Like, there's nothing you can really do against him. His regeneration is just way too powerful, as well as his hacks. And if he uses Total Release, it just boxes him with 100% of his power for a couple minutes. The Chosen One is straight up dead. He isn't coming back for that, especially if Max makes thousands of clones. So, yeah. So he could send a couple dozen clones at him and just beat this out of him and he would just die. There is no coming back for that, really. And Max is probably faster, too. So he has a speed advantage, hacks advantage, better regeneration, strength advantage. I mean, the Chosen One has more hacks, but most of them isn't going to do anything. ASE traps Max the indestructible barrier, but even then, Max could just teleport out of the barrier, because he has teleportation too, which I don't think I mentioned. So yeah, Max wins, maybe mid-difficulty. So yeah, this is his redemption after he got destroyed in the last episode. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.